Do you know that after the age of 40, kidney function starts to decline by approximately 1% per year? It is possible that anyone can develop CKD at any age. However, older people are usually at a higher risk of developing CKD, not just due to aging, but also due to many conditions that get more common as people age, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, gut problems, and many other factors. Interestingly, certain things we eat or drink can help our kidneys maintain the balance of minerals and salts in our bodies. Eating a well-balanced diet means restricting high-risk foods and consuming kidney-friendly foods to maintain your kidney health. In this video, we will learn about the foods that you should avoid for healthy kidneys, and we'll also discuss some of the best alternatives to these potentially harmful foods. Before talking about foods, it is important to understand what makes some foods the high-risk foods for kidneys than others. A kidney-friendly diet includes foods that help protect your kidneys from dehydration or imbalance of minerals like sodium, potassium, or phosphorus. This diet restricts the amount of sodium, potassium, phosphorus, proteins, and other nutrients, which might cause serious harm to already weakened kidneys if you take them in excess amounts. For example, the recommended daily intake, RDI, of sodium is 2,300 milligrams or 1 teaspoon. The RDI of potassium is 3,500 milligrams for men and 2,600 milligrams for women, while the RDI of phosphorus is 700 milligrams. If you have chronic kidney disease, you will have to restrict foods and drinks that contain high levels of these nutrients. Dietary restrictions depend on the stage of your kidney disease. Moreover, people who are on dialysis follow a different dietary plan. So, people with kidney disease must consult a doctor or a dietitian to decide the personal limits of these nutrients. To do that, the dietitian will make a diet plan that can provide the important nutrients according to your individual needs and health condition. Besides watching your protein and mineral intake, there are some other factors that you must consider while being on a restricted diet. What are those factors, and what are those foods to avoid? Let's see. Number 1. Carbonated sodas. Sodas not only contain high amounts of sugars and calories, but the phosphorus levels are also high in them. A lot of food and beverage manufacturers add phosphorus-based additives to enhance the flavor, increase shelf life, or avoid discoloration. Unlike natural animal or plant-based phosphorus, this added phosphorus is present in the form of salt and therefore can be easily absorbed by the intestinal tract. This can result in increased phosphorus levels in your blood. Sodas that contain phosphoric acid, caffeine, and high fructose corn syrup might harm your kidney health, especially when consumed in large amounts. When fructose from high fructose corn syrups breaks down in the liver, purines are produced, which then get converted to uric acid. This uric acid can not just increase your risk of having uric acid stones, but can also significantly affect your liver's health. Moreover, phosphoric acid, which is the oxidized form of phosphorus present in sodas, might also contribute to kidney stone formation. This chemical makes both the blood and the urine more acidic, creating a more favorable environment for kidney stone formation. According to some studies, there are 50 to 60 milligrams of phosphoric acid in most commercially available sodas, while some flavored waters can also contain up to 85 milligrams of phosphorus per bottle. So, drinking more than one bottle of soda might increase the risk of buildup of these substances. Number 2. Avocados. Avocados can be a healthy addition to the diet as they contain healthy fats, fiber, vitamins, and many antioxidants. The monounsaturated fats in avocados promote heart health and lower cholesterol levels, while potassium helps maintain blood pressure. However, high levels of potassium in avocado, which is 690 milligrams per one fruit, might accumulate in the blood. To be honest, eating one avocado can be a good thing if your total potassium intake is within the recommended limits, which is less than 2,000 milligrams per day for most CKD patients. Taking too much potassium per day, particularly when you have kidney disease, can lead to a condition called hyperkalemia. According to the National Kidney Foundation, around 40 to 50% of people with chronic kidney disease have hyperkalemia. Hypercalcemia can result in serious heart problems and result in further damage to the kidneys. Most experts suggest limiting avocado consumption instead of completely avoiding this fruit. According to them, People on hemodialysis can also consume high-potassium food like avocado if they are careful about its portion size and other sources of potassium. Number 3. Whole wheat bread. The choice of the right bread is important for people with kidney disease. Healthy people can safely consume whole wheat bread as it is high in fiber, which might help promote overall health. But mostly, people with kidney disease should prioritize white bread over whole wheat bread. This is because whole wheat cereals like wheat flakes and raisin bran contain more phosphorus and potassium than their refined counterparts. This means the more bran and whole grains in the bread, the higher the phosphorus and potassium contents. For example, a regular slice of whole wheat bread, which is around 36 grams, contains about 76 milligrams of phosphorus and 90 milligrams of potassium. In contrast, you'd be taking a relatively lower amount of approximately 32 milligrams of both phosphorus and potassium in a regular slice of white bread. Note that most bread types, including both whole wheat and refined wheat bread, contain high amounts of sodium. So it is important to read and compare the labels of different breads and choose the one with low sodium content. Some brands also offer kidney-friendly versions of whole grain bread, such as barley, buckwheat, kasha, bulgur, and wild rice. Look them up on the web or the market, and don't forget to read the product labels. Number 4. Dairy. For most healthy people, dairy products offer protective effects on kidneys as they are naturally rich in protein, B vitamins, calcium, phosphorus, and potassium. 1 cup or 240 milliliters of whole milk contains about 205 milligrams of phosphorus and 322 milligrams of potassium. But when kidneys are damaged, drinking dairy milk can increase phosphorus levels in your blood, and too much phosphorus in the blood pulls calcium from your bones. So you might end up having thin and weak bones and at a higher risk of having your bones fractured from falling. Milk is also a good source of many B vitamins like B12, thiamine, and riboflavin. An 8-ounce glass of milk completely fulfills the daily requirement of B12 for most age groups. So, when you limit milk or other dairy items, it might cause a deficiency of these vitamins. Milk also gives you calcium, so if milk was your only or major calcium source, limiting milk might reduce your calcium levels. The deficiency in these vitamins and minerals can directly affect your health. To avoid that, your healthcare expert might prescribe you a few supplements, like calcium, vitamin D, and B-complex supplements. Moreover, there are some alternatives to milk such as soy milk, rice milk, and almond milk, which particularly contain lower levels of these minerals and vitamins. However, you still need to consult your healthcare expert or a registered dietitian about the safe amounts of these products. Number 5. Canned foods. Canned foods not only contain high amounts of sodium, but some of them may also contain a chemical named bisphenol A or BPA. This chemical is mainly used to make the lining of food containers or cans. When you drink or eat from these cans, your body might get this chemical as well. Our bodies contain specific amounts of estrogen, which is a reproductive hormone with other important functions like relaxing the blood vessels. BPA can mimic the properties of this hormone and might tamper with the blood vessels and heart cells. This increases the chance of developing high blood pressure. Continuous high blood pressure can cause kidney damage as it affects the rate of blood flow through renal arteries. A team of researchers conducted a research study on 60 men and women. Among them, some people drank soy milk from canned bottles, while others drank the same product from glass bottles. The researchers detected a significant amount of BPA in the urine of participants who drank from canned bottles. They also found that BPA consumption from canned bottles can cause the systolic pressure to rise by 5 millimeters of mercury. Besides that, canned fruits often contain high fructose corn syrup, while canned vegetables often have sodium salts as preservatives, both of which can be bad for your kidneys. So, it is better to avoid canned foods and drinks and replace them with freshly prepared foods and kidney-friendly fruit juices. Number 6. Dried fruits. Dried fruits like dates, raisins, and prunes are highly restricted foods for people with chronic kidney disease. This is because, when fruits are dried, the nutrients like sugars, potassium, and fiber present in them get concentrated. For example, 100 grams of dried apricots contain 1,880 milligrams of potassium, 120 milligrams of phosphorus, 241 calories, and a whopping 53 grams of sugar. Studies show that consuming an additional 250 calories from dry fruits can result in over 2 pounds of weight in a single month. This sudden increase in body weight might result in obesity and high blood pressure, which are among the major risk factors of kidney disease. Moreover, these dried fruits have a high glycemic index, which can quickly raise your blood sugar and energy levels. In the long term, this might result in diabetes and diabetes-related kidney damage. Note that there is no safe amount for dried fruits. However, you can replace dried fruits with fresh fruits, especially those with relatively lower levels of potassium and sugar content. Number 7. Ultra-processed foods, or UPFs. Foods such as sweet, fatty, or salty packaged snacks, candies, cookies, cakes, cereals, instant soups and noodles, processed meat, and cheese are called ultra-processed foods. These highly processed foods are usually full of artificial additives, added sugar, refined carbohydrates, saturated and trans fats, and sodium. Plus, they lack many essential nutrients that your body desperately needs. Many studies have found a close link between the consumption of these foods and an increased risk of chronic kidney disease. One study included 14,000 adults without kidney disease to see the effects of UPFs on their kidney health. The results showed that people who consumed more UPFs had up to 24% higher chance of developing kidney disease, and almost 5,000 people in this group developed chronic kidney disease sooner or later. So, it is recommended to replace ultra-processed foods with foods that are less processed or not processed at all. This might include kidney-friendly fruits and vegetables with no added sugar or salt. Number 8. Pickled foods. A large amount of salt is used in the making of pickles, processed olives, and relish. For example, there is around 283 milligrams of sodium in one pickle spear and 244 milligrams of sodium in just 2 tablespoons, 30 grams, of sweet pickle relish. Moreover, processed olives also contain high salt content as they're cured and fermented to taste less bitter. 5 green pickled olives provide almost 211 milligrams of sodium, which is a significant portion of the daily amount in only a small serving. So, if you have any stage of kidney disease, you might need to consider low-sodium pickles. Many grocery stores have low-sodium varieties of pickles, olives, and relish with relatively lesser amounts. However, these products still contain some sodium, so always read food labels and consume those foods in moderation. Number 9. Swiss chard, spinach, and beet greens. Some leafy green vegetables contain high amounts of both oxalates and potassium. These vegetables in their raw form contain potassium in the range of 136 to 290 milligrams per cup. Upon cooking, these vegetables shrink to a smaller serving size, but the potassium content almost remains the same. It means consuming even a smaller portion of these vegetables might still increase your potassium levels. However, cooking or boiling them does not have the same effect on the oxalate levels. This is mainly because oxalates are highly soluble in water. So, when these vegetables are boiled, fermented, or steamed, a big portion of oxalates gets removed with the discarded water. To check the effect of different methods of cooking on these levels, researchers used more than 9 raw and cooked vegetables. Most of these vegetables were high in water-soluble oxalates. After applying different cooking methods to these vegetables, they found that boiling significantly reduced soluble oxalate content by about 30 to 87% and was more effective than steaming, which reduced 5 to 53% oxalates, and baking with no oxalate loss. This means that people with chronic kidney disease need to limit the consumption of these foods or use alternative vegetables like kale and bok choy. These vegetables are nutrient-rich greens with just 2 milligrams and 1 milligram of oxalates per cup, respectively. Number 10. Processed meat. Consuming processed meat daily might increase your chance of developing chronic diseases such as hypertension, heart disease, kidney disease, and some cancers. It is usually preserved by curing, salting, smoking, drying, or canning, which is unsafe for overall health. Like other processed foods, it also contains high amounts of sodium, which is mainly used to preserve the meat. But that's not all. Processed meat, especially red meat, contains high levels of creatine, which converts to creatinine upon heating. Those who are suffering from kidney disease need to be careful about their creatinine levels, as high creatinine levels in the blood for prolonged periods can cause severe kidney damage. Not only that, high protein content in processed meat might also increase protein levels in the urine, causing proteinuria, uremia, or high urea levels, and hyperuricemia, or high uric acid, which could result in the decline of kidney function. But completely eliminating protein from your diet is not a good idea either. Our bodies normally need 46 grams, for women, to 56 grams, for men, of protein, considering an average weight of 57.6 kilograms for healthy women and 70 kilograms for healthy men. But the exact amount of protein your kidneys can handle varies depending on the stage of your kidney disease. For example, people with stage 4 need only 0.6 grams per kilogram of body weight, especially when the glomerular filtration rate, GFR, drops below 25. If you want to know more about how you can improve your overall kidney health, make sure to watch these videos too.